All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic as always, because in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the Yieldmax ETFs and more specifically their distribution rates and the distributions that they paid out for the month of October. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go through each of the Yieldmax funds. I'm going to show you some kind of surprises that happen with Yieldmax, and I'm going to show you all the distributions that you need to know. Also want to bring out some specific examples that I had from my estimates and show you guys some cool things about Yieldmax and their distributions for the month of October. So if that sounds good, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We're up to 2,881 subscribers. We're 19 subscribers away from that 2,900 subscriber mark. So if you haven't done that and you want to see some more investing content, stick around and subscribe. Our last video got 3K views, guys. That's really good. It was 1 out of 10. We love seeing 1 out of 10s. Most people like 10 out of 10s. We like 1 out of 10s on this channel. So what I'm going to do in this video is I want to bring to you guys the Yieldmax distribution yields. And as you can see here by the top of my screen, I don't really have all the ETFs or underlying stocks of the Yieldmax funds up. I only have specific examples, one being OARK. And I have the ARK Innovation ETF up right here. And when we jump into OARK, we could see that they've actually paid a dividend of 33 cents, or will pay a dividend of 33 cents, down from 36 cents. And why is that? Because when I made my estimate, I honestly thought it was going to be a little bit higher, but it ended up being lower. And I think a reason for this, as you can see, ARK Innovation ETF has been dropping pretty substantially for the past little while. It was up at $49. Going back into the 6-month chart, it was at $49 on August 1st, and roughly on August 30th, when kind of the contracts and everything expired. They do write weekly contracts, I do understand that, but we're talking about the whole month collectively here. They were down to roughly $44 or so. Now, when we're looking at the past month, which was October, which was accounting for this 33-cent dividend, ARK Innovation ETF continued to trend downward and went from $43 down to about $39. Roughly a similar drop, but the reason why this distribution per share is going to be less is because OARK, the fund, has been losing share price. And when OARK loses its share price value, the dividend tends to be lower, even though the volatility might be exactly the same. And so that's what I think the account for the lower share price distribution will be for OARK, and we might see that in a couple more Yieldmax funds. Another one being TSLY. TSLY, I thought actually had a pretty decent month. As you can see right here, the month right here, it had a little bit of volatility mixed in. Going to the 6-month chart here, it was really flat for the month of August and part of September, but had a little bit of dip to the downside, a little bit of upside, a little bit of volatility all the way around. I thought it might be a little bit bigger than the previous dividend, but once again, we see it's pretty much right at that same marker. And TSLY, for the most part, has been trending sideways to downwards for the past little while. And I think these lower dividend yields are coming off the fact that TSLY's price is also appreciated down, which means they kind of have less money to work with in their overall fund, and that's accounting for these lower dividends. So if Tesla, which is the underlying stock for TSLY, was to recover and we could get back to these $16 or $15 levels, we might start to see these 83-cent dividends coming back. But I think TSLY has to get up to those levels before we're able to do so. So now that we got kind of some facts out of the way, I'm going to show you a couple more yields. We can go to NVDY here, because this was another kind of upset that I kind of seen here. So as you can see, they went down from paying 70 cents, 90 cents, 92 cents to their most previous, which is going to be 67 cents. This is the lowest dividend distribution for NVDY. And what you might see, a lot of the Yieldmax option income strategy ETFs here, they did go down. Their distribution yields went down. AMZ, I actually predicted it to go up a little bit. I thought it was going to be roughly about like 50 to 60 cents, which it came in a bit higher than my estimate at about 63 cents for AMZ. So that's going to be a pretty decent yield. I was kind of estimating about 30 to 35%. So we're going to see that hopefully. But as well, one big surprise was CONY, the Coinbase option income strategy ETF. Now, what I want to show you here is their distribution yield, and I have them up right here. They are roughly $19 at the current share price, but they are going to pay a distribution yield about $1.21. Now, judging by that rate, that is a close to 75% dividend. And Yieldmax, I have their Twitter up because they recently announced that CONY was going to pay a $1.20 dividend per share, and they were estimating that to be about 75% or so. I'm not sure if it's here in this one, but it's supposed to be about 75%. Now, going off of this distribution, am I going to sell all my TSLY option income strategy Yieldmax fund for CONY just due to the fact that it's paying a 70% dividend now? No, I'm not going to do that. Personally, I like the underlying fund, which is Tesla. I do believe it's pretty volatile, and obviously that gives a good dividend yield, but I'm long on Tesla. Am I long on CONY? I do think it's a decent company, and I like what they're doing with crypto, but I'm not long CONY, so I will not be buying just due to that massive dividend. But we could go over a couple different ones, such as the GOOY distribution rate. This is going to be closer to Facebook and what they paid just in terms of their distribution rate. As you can see, they went up about 10 cents, which is pretty good, coming in at about 39 cents right there. And just for the fun of it, you know what, why don't we also go to NFLY and we could check out this distribution rate as well, see what that came in at. So the Yieldmax, this was actually their first month. So as you can see, they came in at 51 cents, which is pretty good for a stock that writes synthetic cover calls on Netflix. So they came in with a 51-cent dividend. I'm not sure, it says 30% right now. I'm not sure what the current share price of NFLY is, but we're going to search that up and we're going to find out. So yeah, this was just kind of a little bit of a video. I know I didn't go through absolutely all of them, but it kind of gives you an idea of about, because I'm not even sure if these ones paid a dividend down here. We could check this super quickly, but it kind of gives you a little bit of idea of how the Yieldmax funds are performing. What I do want to do in a future video is actually calculate all my TSLY returns and then show you guys that percentage to show you kind of like how they have performed for me so far. So if you guys do want to see that video, just let me know. I will totally do that. And yeah, so a 50-cent dividend for NFLY, which is a Netflix Yieldmax ETF, which is actually not bad, not too bad at all. So yeah, this was just a little video about some of the distribution rates for Yieldmax. I know some of them came in a little under expected, such as TSLY and maybe OARK. They're kind of trading at about similar markers. Hopefully, if their underlying stocks are able to have a little bit of a rebound, we could see some increases in these dividends soon. But for now, we're just holding and we're collecting that massive cash flow of 50% and 32%. So with all that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so. I hope you guys did enjoy and can stick around for any of our future videos by subscribing. And you know, that's all I want to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys take care. Have a great, it's not even the weekend, it's Friday. Have a great Friday, and I will see you guys in the next one.